Hello and hello everybody, my name is Lucy and welcome to Books and Brushes. Today I'm going to do something which you've probably seen a variation of before. It's always fun to put characters from all over into Hogwarts houses from Harry Potter. So you've probably seen something like Pixar characters sorted into Harry Potter houses or Disney princesses or something of the like. But I am a booktube person. Books are key, and the two biggest book franchises which I love are Harry Potter and The Hunger Games. So what I thought would be really fun is if I put the Hunger Games characters into Harry Potter Hogwarts houses. I'm wearing my Hufflepuff colours today. So there may be something like this out there, there probably is. They're two very famous franchises, but I've got to be honest, I haven't looked for them because I didn't want to be influenced by other people's decisions. I wanted to make these decisions on these characters based on what I know of them, what I know of Harry Potter, and what I believe they would be in. So I haven't looked around for this thing. I haven't really seen it of my own accord though. And if I do find any interesting ones, I will put them in the comment section down below. But I will watch them after I've done this video so that it doesn't influence me at all, and all these decisions I've made by myself. So the first character I'm going to put in is obviously the main character, Katniss Everdeen. So I've decided to make Katniss a Hufflepuff. I mean, I'm going to try not to be biased in this video, but I think Katniss is a Hufflepuff through and through. Now again, with main characters, everyone always assumes they're probably going to be a Gryffindor, but she's not really a Gryffindor to me. Loyalty is like the #1 thing for Katniss. Loyalty to her sister is what motivates her to do anything. She becomes so loyal to Peter and to Haymitch, to her district. Like, loyalty is the most important thing to her, and it motivates all of her decisions, which is why she's a Hufflepuff. She is completely unafraid of hard work. She will do anything she needs to protect her loved ones, and she cares about them way more than she cares about her own life and safety. And she is not afraid of hard work. She is the sole breadwinner for her family, and she will do anything for them. And that is why she is total Hufflepuff. Now, she could have been a Gryffindor with her bravery, but then again, in her situation, they all have to be brave. They don't really have a choice. She is terrified of the situations she's put herself in, and she will avoid the brave option if she can, like starting the rebellion. She just does not want to do that because she is terrified of the repercussions from Snow, whereas someone like Gale will do that, will risk everything for it. But unless there is a personal loyalty behind her, she won't do it. She will only do things for other people, and not just because to be brave because she can. She does not want to be the figurehead for the rebellion. She does not want any of that. All she wants to do is save her sister, and that's why she's a Hufflepuff. Peter is also a Hufflepuff. Now, I'm sorry, the two main characters are Hufflepuffs, but they just are. This one's probably a bit more obvious. Peter screams Hufflepuff. He's so loyal to others, and he puts everyone else before him. He even tries to save Katniss in the first Hunger Games, killing himself, even though he only kind of knows her and has a crush on her. But he knows he won't win, but someone he knows and loves can. So he will completely be like, yeah, I'll sacrifice myself so she can win instead because I know she has a chance. That's so Hufflepuff for someone to do. He's always thinking about what's good for Katniss. Haymitch even says you will never deserve that boy because his heart is just so pure and he couldn't really be anything else. Gale. Now Gale is a Gryffindor. I definitely think Gryffindor for this one, as I kind of alluded to before. He's always speaking out against the system from day one when they're having that conversation before the reaping, and as soon as the rebellion hits the air, he wants it to be a part of it. He wants to start it, he wants to, not to start it, but to be a part of it, to join in, to make a difference and change the world. And it's very Gryffindor. He's very impulsive, he's very strong, and he's very brave. He's brave and he works on instinct, which is what makes him such a good trapper and a good hunter, and he is never afraid to put himself in harm's way. He ran back into District 12 to save all those people from that fire. People he didn't know, people he did know, and it's just because of who he is. Bravery and chivalry are definitely some of his biggest traits, and that's why he's got to be a Gryffindor. Next up, Prim. Now Prim is a Ravenclaw. Again, some of you might have automatically put her in Hufflepuff because she's sweet. But no, I don't think so. I definitely think Ravenclaw. Prim is incredibly smart and very, very wise, even for her age. She's smart for an adult, let alone someone of her age and lack of experience. She knows what to do medically, and she has the strength and the experience to do it, even better than her mother. She knows exactly what to say to help Katniss in her darkest situations, is always so clear-headed in the face of danger. She's just practical, level-headed, and that's all so Ravenclaw, so that's where she's got to go. So she is definitely a Ravenclaw. Next up, Haymitch. Haymitch, I'm going to go Ravenclaw. Again, a lot of times I always think I pick ones that you may not expect, but when you look to the root of them and the motivation for their decisions, that's where I find out who they are, because that's their key motivation and that's what makes a person in their core. Haymitch won because of his brains over his brawn. He outsmarted the Capitol, which is what got him in trouble, and he always knows the best advice to give Katniss and Peter. He can kind of forget people's feelings in the process of things, but he's practical, he knows what to do, and he has a plan, and he's always thinking ahead. Not just 2 steps, 3 steps ahead, he's always thinking far ahead to know what to do in these really tricky and dangerous situations. He gives up on helping out all the other candidates just because he watches them die time and time again and feels he just can't do it anymore, turning to drink. He's so smart that it makes no difference every single year, and that must kill him. But with Katniss, he really feels that she could do it, which is why he gives her this information. And he always tends to dole out information on a need-to-know basis. He's always plotting, and I mean, he plotted so much in Catching Fire and Mockingjay. He's always got a plan and he's plotting something, not because of ambition, but because he has the smarts to do it, and he knows the exact right moves in these situations which to play. He's so strategic, and he's got to be a Ravenclaw. Next up, Cinna. Cinna was a slightly tricky one to place, but I ended up going with Gryffindor because his bold moves and designs always managed to put Katniss ahead and himself in danger. He had all the talent to be the best, but chose to go with the underdog in District 12, and he stuck with Katniss till the end. He was very smart to be able to do his designs and to be able to talk to people the way he did. He was ambitious enough to know what he wanted and to get it, and for the amazing designs he managed to pull off. And he was very loyal to Katniss and wanted to see her win because he was always betting on her. But his boldness and just the unequivocal way he's put her on a pedestal just makes him so Gryffindor. If he was a Slytherin, he would have wanted to do a better district or make himself more famous. That was just a byproduct. He was smart, yeah, but it wasn't his main motivation. And he was loyal, yes, to Katniss, but he was just so bold and brave, and I think he can't be anything else but a Gryffindor. Next up, Effie. Effie is our first Slytherin. Effie has huge ambition, and she does resent being in District 12 because it's one of the biggest losers. She's on cloud 9 when her tributes win because it's the best she could possibly hope for. She's won. She's managed to take these underdogs and rise them to be the very best. She always wants them to be the best, to be the most known, the best publicity, and her schedule is ridiculous. She always strives for the best publicity, the best parties, the best camera work, and she's always on time. She just wants everything grand and perfect and the best it can possibly be, and that's so Slytherin of her. Her schedule is so super tight because responsibility and getting where she wants to go is so important to her. Her career is her life. She wants things done her way, and she has an appreciation for all things luxury and beautiful and high class. She just rates success so highly. She does learn to be so loyal to Katniss and Peter because she starts to see them as like people, not just tributes. But that's through her story arc, and her main attribute is her ambition to be successful. So that's why Effie's gotta be a Slytherin. Next up, Snow. This one is obvious, I couldn't not make him a Slytherin. His ambition to be the president will make him do anything, including poison, murder, and even damaging himself and his own body to do so. He's super sly and manipulative to always make situations go in his favour and for his gain. He knows what strings to pull in people to make them dance, and nothing is off limits to Snow. He will do anything to stay in control, and he will kill anyone he needs, friend or foe, just to further himself, his career and his success. So he's the kind of bad Slytherin that gives Slytherins a bad name, but he has all those attributes, and ambition, sly, cunning, it's all there, and that's why he's unequivocally a Slytherin, and a very stereotypical one at that. Next up, let's go with another tribute. We'll go with Cato. Cato again, Slytherin. I couldn't not. It's the only thing he could be. Cato just wants to be the best and to bring his district and himself glory. And that's why he volunteers. That's why he does it all. He will kill anyone and do anything he needs to win. He believes 100% that he will win, and that's all he wants. He's not so much impulsive, but driven, and he's not exactly the bravest when he faced those mutts, and in those final moments, it failed him because he realised his folly, that he was not going to win, and he wasn't going to go all according to his plan. He is definitely a Slytherin. Next up, Foxface. Without a doubt, Foxface outsmarts all of the other competitors, and she has sneaky abilities to do what she needs to survive. She knows all the right plants that she needs to eat to survive, and she figured out that bomb route flawlessly. No one even knows how she figured that bomb route out, you know, the bit where she gets the apples. Katniss is stunned. How the hell she figured that out? We still don't know, but she's clever enough to smart it out, and she will figure out any puzzle like that she needs to kind of effortlessly. She relies on her wit more than anything else and isolates herself from the pack. She can sneakily take those apples and those berries without anyone noticing, and the only reason she died was because of Peter's mistake. He was genuinely going to eat those berries, and therefore she thought, well, they're safe. If he's eating them, they're safe. And that was her mistake. She spent all this time doing everything flawlessly and managing so well to use her brain to win. But in that one moment, Peter's mistake became hers. Yes, she should have seen Peter eat them before she thought that, but being a Ravenclaw doesn't make you perfect. If it was like a trick that Peter was trying to entice her with these berries so that she would die, she would have spotted it a mile off. She was way too clever for that. But the fact he was genuinely going to eat them, that was her downfall, and it's such a shame because she was so close. Ravenclaw all the way. Next up, the new queen of YA herself, Rue. And Rue is a Hufflepuff. Any surprise there, really? Rue was a little hard, but the loyalty she had for Katniss and their alliance and her family was just stronger than anything else. Even in her death, she wanted Katniss to win. She was smart, she was brave, she was sneaky, but none of those things were her driving force, and none of those things epitomised her as a character. Her sweet nature and her ability to find things, funnily enough, just makes her a classic, nice Hufflepuff, and it's why she's the sympathetic face. It's why she is the adorable Rue we all know and love. Next up, Finnick, a Slytherin. It was a close one with Ravenclaw there for a moment, but his sneakiness won. He's sly and he's charming, and he managed to keep those secrets and his plotting all a secret with Haymitch. He was so ambitious in the capital to turn his negative situation into a way for him to obtain secrets and information that he could later on use. He was sly and sneaky enough to be able to pull those secrets out of those rich, wealthy ladies who wanted a piece of him. Ravenclaw would want to obtain that information, but again, it was a close one with Ravenclaw, but I still think his sly cunningness beats it. He knew the knowledge would be useful, and the way he had a thirst for knowledge and wanting to obtain information instead of jewels or money. He knew they would be useful later, and they were crucial in taking the capital down. So that was why I almost went Ravenclaw. I'm not doing a Slytherin thing, you can forget it, because they don't exist. Combination houses to the death. He is a Slytherin, but so close to Ravenclaw. He's cunning, he's charming, and he is like a good Slytherin. I love Finnick, and still upset. Next up, Joanna, with another Slytherin. I mean, her attitude, Slytherin enough. Joanna did the ultimate sneaky and sly trick in her first games, pretending she was weak so the other ones would ignore her, and then coming out as a badass and just slaughtering all her competitors. Who else would be that cunning other than a Slytherin? She's so sneaky, and she has no qualms about it at all. Her strategy and her ruthlessness in nature makes her a Slytherin. She doesn't care what the cost, she will do anything she needs to be able to get the situation or the outcome she wants. Her just bottle to scream and swear at the Capitol during her interview with Caesar. She's just so aggressive, and she doesn't care about the repercussions. That's kind of Gryffindor, but no, she is a Slytherin, and ambition, yes. She is not holding back, and she will get what she wants. She doesn't care about anything else, she will get it. And she's totally a Slytherin. Next up, Beetee, And it's obviously a Ravenclaw. I mean, come on. Obviously, he values knowledge overall. He literally outsmarted all his competitors in his own games and tried to do the same thing in the second one. He's always thinking of traps and strategies, which is what made him so good in his own games, so good in the second one where trying to kill the rest off with just some wire, and then in the actual war when he's coming up with these plans and these traps, all from intelligence. He's logical and he's level-headed, and he's always coming up with new strategies and ideas to putting those things into practice. Where he builds weapons in the third one, and just everything he does, he makes ideas reality, and he's always observing the world around him and finding the flaws in all the systems he can. Like that chain link force field in the training room. That was a piece of information that most people wouldn't have seen, but him and Warris did. And he always exploits little things like that, and he enjoys doing it. He is so Ravenclaw. And last but not least, we have Coin, or should I say President Coin? Well, for about 2 seconds. This woman led her people through ambition and bottle alone. She will do anything for progression and the survival of her people, and her ambition to take over Snow, that's a pretty big ambition to have, which she spent years in the making. I mean, she pretty much led the rebellion just to take over Snow and become the president. There is no greater ambition someone could have had. She's always plotting, sly and manipulative, and is able to get the people around her to do what she needs to advance her cause. She will forsake other people's lives to get what she needs, and it's all about the big picture. It's about the group survival. She does not care about individual lives. It's all about the plan, the strategy, the ambition, the goal, the destination, and she doesn't see people in the process. They're all just tools for her to use, and she will use them to get where she needs to be. And she will sacrifice the lives of the few to save the many. If she will save the many, or to advance her cause, either way. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my last one. I could go on for ages with this. There's so many characters in the Hunger Games trilogy, I just could not do them all. There's so many characters, Boggs, Thresh, I could have done Glimmer, I could have done Clove, I could have done Brutus, I could have done Anaboria. There are so many characters I could have done, but this video would have been so long, so I tried to do like the main characters from across the trilogy. So I really hope you enjoyed that and you found my thoughts and ideas interesting. And I hope you liked where I put them. Did you agree? Did you disagree? Were there any that you were totally disagreeing on, or others that you thought, yes, 100% right? Or some surprising answers that you thought, actually, I didn't think of it that way, but you're right, they are totally in that house. Well, I just hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in another one. Bye!